Welcome to Dad's Deals and Dumbbells, the podcast where dad life meets business hustle and barbells.
Two entrepreneurial dads helping you stay strong in family, business, and health without losing our minds or gains.
Today's guest, a man who's part philosopher, part pizza guy, CEO of Billy Bricks, and a certified chaos delegator, Ric Showbiz Gruber, is in the house today.
Nice. Can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. I always like talking pizza, especially when you're talking entrepreneurial pizza.
That's the interesting side.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what are your fails after a long weekend?
So we were just talking here before we got everything going. I've had a very long weekend. My daughter, for her birthday, wanted to go to Salem, Massachusetts for the Salem witch trials. She did AP history last year, and she thought it'd be fun to check out. So she's turning 17 today. And so we took her to Massachusetts, my son, my wife as well. So we flew out early Saturday morning, had a whole weekend, got to do oysters and lobster bisque, and got to do all the fun stuff that goes along with it. And then yesterday, the nor'easter hit. And as we are at the Boston Tea Party wrapping up our little vacation, we go to get ready to take the rental car back, and we find out that our flight's been kicked. It's been kicked back several hours. And now we see it's been changed where we're not flying directly back to Chicago. We're flying to New York, and then we have a layover to this morning that may or may not go. So long story short, we decided to drive back last night. So I've been going since 5 a.m. yesterday morning.
Did you drive the whole way home?
I drove the whole way home.
How many hours was that?
15 hours in the car. Actually, it was more than 15 hours if you add everything up. But it was basically 15 hours of driving in total. I've had way too much coffee, probably more than any human should consume. But I'm going. I had maybe a 45-minute nap after breakfast this morning.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Naps.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's a win or a fail. I kind of feel like it's maybe both. As a dad, it's kind of one of these things where it's my daughter's birthday, and we have stuff to do.
Yeah.
Right? I got stuff in the office to do. We have things going on. I wasn't just going to sit back and be a victim of it. You know, we had to make a decision as far as what we're going to do. So I'm going to call it both a win and a fail, I guess.
Made lemonade out of lemons?
Yeah. You know, we'll see. Tonight, I'm going to crash hard when I go to sleep. I know that, but that's going to be rewarding.
The real question is, are you going to wake up early and work out in the morning?
I am.
Okay.
100%. Because I have felt incredibly off. I worked out one day in this past 3 days, and earlier last week was the same kind of thing. I was traveling last week too, so I had like 3 or 4 days in a row I didn't work out, and I'm doughier. I feel doughier than I should feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been ripped guy, but I definitely feel doughier than I want to be. So yeah, tomorrow morning bright and early.
No backsliding allowed.
Not anymore.
Got it.
So, what about you, Mitch? What's going on this past week?
So my fails, I have not worked out. Last week, I skipped a lot of workouts. I wasn't feeling too good. I was like out for the counts from like Tuesday to.
This is sickness out for the count?
Oh, yeah. Like nasty stomach flu. Like when I missed the board meeting on Wednesday. Yeah. And then I was able to like work maybe 2 hours that morning. I went home the rest of the day and slept after lunch. And then Thursday was able to power through it. Friday powered through it. I wasn't able to keep anything down. Like It was either coming up or going out. And like I don't think I actually peed for like 3 days. So I went and got an IV for hydration. I was like, I'm gonna crash if I don't do this. Finally, kind of Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning felt normal. And then I was able to work out this morning.
Tear through the house or just you?
Week. Just me.
Oh.
I don't know if I ate something weird, but it wasn't fun. Definitely not fun. And then I had to single dad all weekend too, so that was great.
Oh,
yeah,
that's super awesome.
That was risky, but we survived.
Well, congratulations.
We watched a lot of K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop, it's not good. It's not good.
It's not that bad.
There's worse stuff to watch, but I mean, some of the music's okay, but
the music's good. The problem is the soundtrack's like 30 minutes long, and when you're in a car ride, it just repeats over and over and over again. It's very bad. Although some of the cover songs, like the heavy metal cover songs, those are pretty good.
You like those?
I'll tolerate those. I try and sprinkle them in. The kids are like, I want the originals. Like, dang it. I tried. But they are pretty good workout songs, not going to lie.
Are they?
Yeah. It's not bad.
All right. So when I see you at Lifetime sweating,
it's not
K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's K-pop Demon Hunters in the metal version.
In the metal version.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I need to hear the metal version because I don't think I've heard those.
Look up Jonathan Young. Pretty good stuff.
Jonathan Young. All right. Fantastic.
Definitely a good one.
Well, let's talk pizza. We have
Definitely.
a guest coming on here in a minute.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
And I'm starving. So
yeah. Well, let's take a break, shift gears, and bring in our guest for the week.
perfect. All right, so let's bring in Ric Gruber Jr.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. CEO of Billy Brick's Pizza Restaurant Group. There are so many awards here. I'm going to try not to butcher them. So it's top 5 pizza industry executive, PMQ 20 pizza brands to watch, Pizza Today's 35 pizzerias to watch, Pizza Marketplace top 30 pizza brands to watch, Pizza Marketplace number 17 out of 100. The real question is, has Dave Portnoy been to your place?
He hasn't.
Oh,
Do you want him to?
I have mixed feelings about it.
Do you?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings. It can do a lot for you. Like it also,
yeah.
I don't think it ever harms anybody because even
Yeah.
if he gives you a bad score, like people who know you are not going to stop coming because he said so.
Yeah.
But people who have not found you yet, you have the opportunity there. Our basic style that we have built the brand off of is our Neapolitan, which he's not a huge fan of.
Right.
So the more straightforward you're giving that pizza, the less he's going to like it. But our 16-inch is more of a New Haven style pizza. So that's really something that he enjoys. So it's one of those things where...
So when he comes in, are you like giving him a pizza or does
No,
he order
he
off?
orders
What
like a
wants?
customer when he comes in and does
okay.
that. He doesn't really let you know that he's coming. And then, you do have some lead time because when he calls, he'll give you his real name. Like he doesn't pretend like it's not him.
Yeah.
But, we have a thing up in our kitchen that says like, if this guy comes in, like, get it together.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick and
Don't mess it up.
and
Don't
make
burn
sure
it.
it's crispy. 'Cause that's what he loves.
Yeah.
Extra sauce, extra
Yeah,
cheese, extra crisp.
and our 16-inch is naturally comes a lot crispier than our 12-inch does. So if it's made perfectly to our standard, it's something that he really would like. So it's just one of those things where, if I had one shop, I would have him there tomorrow because I would know I'd be standing there every day. I can make sure it's me and doing that. And of course, I have a lot of confidence in our staff, but like the size of his microphone and reach is just
Huge.
it's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
How long did it take you as the owner, the CEO, executive person to be able to go, you could come into any one of my spots and it would be fine? Because obviously if you said, like you said, if you had the one spot, then it'd be fine. But if you have all your others, like, are you comfortable if he was able to walk in or?
Yeah. I mean, and I think so. Like our newest location, we went from the traditional wood-fired oven, which is how we were built, but now we have a Pizza Master, which is an electric oven. It still goes to it's a brick oven, but it's electric, and it goes to the same temperatures. To me, it creates a more consistent product because we know the exact temperature of the oven. We have
You can dial it
timers.
in.
You can dial it in, and there's no variation there as far as the heat on top, bottom, and all that stuff. So you're taking the rotating of the pizzas, you're taking those variables out, and everything else is a lot more controllable as far as like dough, training people how to stretch and top the pizzas. Now you're just worrying about those aspects and less about all the oven dynamics. That also is a whole huge skill set that takes a lot of years for people to master. So we take that part out. The Pizza Master oven becomes the master of the oven, and it does its job from there. So like if you went there, I would feel the most comfortable at our newest store, just because I would know there'd be no variation of the temperature. If you come in at 2:00 in the afternoon, there's a possibility that you have someone who's forgotten about paying attention to the oven during a slow period, and so the heat isn't exactly where it would be during like a peak time. And they'd be trying to rush out the order to get it to somebody, and so that they don't bring it back up to
Consistency is much
temp.
easier. Yeah.
The consistency is easier. Now, I don't work on the lines in my stores, so I trust it enough in our training and the years that we've put into our systems that 90% plus of the time we're doing a really, really great job, which is about all you can do. You're not going to be perfect. I was telling someone we had 1,400 guest checks last weekend, across our stores from Friday through Sunday. And we had maybe 5 to 10 of our customer feedbacks that were like pretty negative, like they were terrible.
Yeah.
So out of 1,400, if you're getting 5 to 10 people who are at that level, and rightfully so on some of their points, many of them are totally reasonable reasons to be angry.
Yep.
But if we're able to have output at that consistency, perfection is not possible.
No.
You have humans, you have things that happen. sometimes it helps us to investigate like what keeps happening, and then we can fix things.
Yeah.
But to say, oh, I have to be here all the time, I have to run this business and be there 24 hours a day, otherwise things won't be perfect, is not also, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked many of those open to close 7-day-a-week shifts for years, and things weren't perfect when I was doing that either.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, to expect that, oh, by me being there 24 hours a day, nothing will ever go wrong is not really, it's not really
feasible.
It's not feasible. It's not realistic. That would be your ego lying to you that like only you're perfect, and that's also not true.
So you bring up an interesting question, well, an interesting point, I guess I should say. Entrepreneurs tend to know the business or be used to doing the thing, but not necessarily running the business. And so kind of what you just encapsulated is, it sounds like what you're trying to do is you're trying to run the business, and you have people underneath you who you're expecting to produce the product and to do it consistently, but you don't want to be there having to make each pizza because it's not practical. First of all, you got too many locations.
Yeah, I think that's more of what it is. It's not that I don't want to be there or I want to be doing something else other than that. You know, I'm in the business because I enjoy that part of the business. Like I do love that. If I could build what I wanted to build but never have to leave the pizza line, I would opt to do that. 100% of the time, because
You enjoy that part of it.
That's the most fun part of it is making a pizza. Doing in the way that we do it is not something that everyone can do. You know, when people watch you do that for the first time, they're wowed. They cannot believe your hand stretching this dough, the way you're doing, like the speed that you're doing it. Especially when they jump in and then try to do that themselves, and they're like, That's really impressive.
I saw it on YouTube.
You know, we make it look that way because of all the practice, all the reps. And so, you know, even just scooping the pizza off the bench and then getting it into the oven correctly, then cooking it properly and having that come out like a work of art. Yeah. And you see, because our style is very unique in that, like, it is more art than form. It's incredible. So when you see all those pieces come together, that's really fun. And it's physical. You know, I chose to come into the family business and eventually to take it over and grow it, to get out of practicing law full time, because I didn't think, this is why a great podcast for me, I didn't think it would have led to a very healthy lifestyle if I was sitting at a desk all day. With family medical history and all these other things, and how I just felt sinking into a chair, just reading and staring at the computer all day long, I knew that I would not live a long, healthy life if that's what I was kind of trapped. I don't want to say trapped because you have a choice, but trapped in that environment where there is that is the arena, is at your desk or in the courtroom. You know, you don't really have a lot so for where you could be practicing. Let's
pull back, because you just threw a little nugget out there that we should, you know, as a lawyer and as a recovering lawyer.
Remission.
Let's get a little bit of your backstory here, because you've said that it was a family business that you took over and you started to grow, but you also threw out that you're a lawyer. Yeah. So give us a little background on how you got from where you were to where you are.
Well, yeah. So we're in year 20 now of the restaurant, which is now turned into a group. When it started, I was only a junior in college, so I wasn't involved in the day-to-day operation in any way, shape, or form.
And who started it?
My stepdad and my mom.
Okay.
When I was in college, I got a call that said we're going to open a restaurant, and that was about the degree of my involvement. When I came home on break, I worked and made sandwiches there. Yeah. I mean, I worked there, but I was working shifts. I couldn't wait to get in and out. You know, I was 21 and just wanted to go live my social life, but I was working shifts, and my dad was happy because he could keep his labor low by having someone who couldn't wait to leave when it slowed down. Yeah. So, you know, that was basically my involvement for many years. And then after undergrad, I went to law school. So I had a gap year. I wanted to decide what I wanted to do. Sure. And so in that time, I worked there throughout the year. I worked like 3 jobs. I was working there during the day, construction in the afternoon, early evening. I was doing whatever while I was LSAT and going to decide where I was going to go to law school after that or grad program. So I was taking all the tests and figuring that out. So I did that. I went to law school, and that was my intention, was just to practice law. I wanted to do exactly what I ended up doing. I worked in the field that I wanted. And so that was
Which was?
I wanted to work in corporate. You know, I wanted to be in-house. I like general counsel work. So my focus was in IT, data security, privacy. Yeah. And I did a lot of transactional IP work. So that worked a lot and worked really well in the corporate space. So that was the angle that I wanted to go into the corporate world and go and take that on. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I say that like jokingly, like I'm in remission. I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. But I actually really do love the practice of law. I love that it's a practice. I love that you're always learning, that you have to think, you have to solve problems, you have to be analytical. I enjoyed the sport of the law a lot. But I find that I can apply those exact same things about my personality that I like to do and my techniques or talents or things that have developed with me, and I can apply them to business.
Yep.
And I found that I was doing that very regularly for my clients. And so it came to a point where I said, man, I'm pretty good at this, even though no one believes me yet, except for my clients, because it's young and fairly new at things. But I'm like, I kind of have a knack for this. I can see things that other people are not seeing here. I don't know why they don't. And maybe I'm nuts, but it seems to be working out. So maybe I'm pretty skilled at this. I thought, why spend all of my time trading time for dollars to build other people's dreams for them when they're not even able to figure it out on their own? And then things kind of naturally progressed as my parents were getting older and I was seeing that business growing, the demands of what they needed my help with as far as, they were a client. And I was like, there's a lot of stuff that's needing to be done here all the time. I'm going to jump in and bring my unique skill set here to the business, and I'm just going to help with that.
So how long did you practice before you started to make that shift?
It was about 4 or 5 years of full-time practice.
Okay.
And, from there, the best laid plans, right? Like I felt at the time like I was going to come in and be like at the C-suite doing what I've been doing for clients, and that's all I'd have to do for the restaurant business. I very quickly discovered there was a lot more gaps and holes in the business than I knew about because I wasn't involved in the day-to-day and things that they needed me for. And so I just started plugging holes. First, you got to not sink before you can fix things, right? You got to triage the situation. So it was good in the sense that a lot of the triaging that I did taught me the business from the ground up in a very real day-to-day sense. Yeah. Only one person gets to be the founder. It's not me. But I always say, but I got to be a sandwich maker, a dishwasher, a shift lead, an assistant general manager, a general manager.
It's almost like the Chick-fil-A model. Like if you order a franchise, you have to have done every single thing.
Yeah, and apparently. So we try to instill most of our general managers are people who have worked their way into that spot, not have been hired off the street, or someone that we think's ready for it, but has been kind of held back because they have a great manager in front of them at their store. So when we open up a new location, we look for people that want to take the opportunity to grow themselves and move into that store. And it's worked out in some respects because of where people live. They might live actually closer to where the new one is that we're opening. And we keep them in mind, too, as we're doing that because most people don't want to leave us.
No.
So that's, we don't keep growing just for us. We keep growing because that's the best way to keep your best people.
For sure.
And give them opportunities.
Well, so obviously with all the awards that Mitch read off earlier, there's some success there with the business.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual product. How many locations do you have now?
So we have 7. The brick and mortars, and then we have 7 mobile units.
Mobile units, so like food trucks?
Yes.
Okay.
So
nice.
total, we were operating about 14 businesses.
And is that all in the Chicago metro area, or where?
Correct. Yeah. Yes. We are just finalizing a deal right now. So we added an ice cream truck, an ice cream brand that we created to add to our stores, sort of like how Bona has Rainbow Cone, but we wanted to just develop our own. And that's expanded, and we're offering it at all of our locations. And one of our newest stores has a full parlor in it. We have the ice cream truck, and so it all it goes really well together. And that's been a great, I guess not surprise because that's what we hoped for, but it's been great that it's worked out the way that we thought it would. That doesn't always happen, but this has been a great pairing. And we are finalizing right now a deal to next month open our first standalone Mujo's. So we'll have our first full ice cream parlor that's not supported by a Billy Bricks.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really small space, and we want to see what we're testing it, right? And it's one of those things where you go, what is it going to cost to open this up? And we're going to go ahead and do this. And you're like, it's basically between the shop and the mobile that we're going to pair with it up in a new area. It's a $150,000 experiment You know, we
see what happens.
We have a lot of data that backs it up, but
Yeah.
you have to do that and
Well,
learn.
it's interesting to hear you say that because obviously this is on a different scale, but we just saw in Bolingbrook a couple of years ago one of the biggest tests ever that
Cosmics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cosmics. People were flying in from other countries to go
England,
to Cosmics and stand in line for 4 hours. And of course, as quick as it went up, it came crashing down.
Yep.
And McDonald's doesn't think twice about it, right? I mean, they did it as a test. They don't, they have more money than anybody to throw into something like that. But to test it out and see if it works, and
they already own the real estate. So
right.
Yeah, they don't care.
I will tell you the weird thing for me on that building though was they retrofitted it. It went from a Boston Market to Cosmics, and then the day they closed it, they debranded it faster than I could have possibly imagined. Now it's just like this gray building that's that's there,
still boarded up, taped up.
Yeah, and you have to think about it this way. This is the way I looked at it, and it's super interesting because from the outside looking in, especially from the outside, either the business world or the restaurant space,
I was like, what did you think of that?
they think it's like someone looks at that and go, what a waste of money, what a waste of time, what a disaster. Well, no, what they learned was whatever their numbers showed them there. Like, listen, if their numbers with that square footage and whatever they were paying to themselves as the landlord and whatever the investment that they put in, if the numbers justified building more of those, they would have immediately done it.
Right.
Now,
well, and of course, they also got a piece of data from that. If there's a product that was successful there, they can deploy it in all the McDonald's.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they're going to be adding and rolling out the drink stations, and probably replacing something else or just using.
Will they replace the McCafe?
I doubt that.
The McCafe?
They may be expanding as their dining rooms are shrinking. They might have more usable square footage that they're going to expand their kitchens out into.
True.
But they are going to be adding whatever was popular there and whatever they realized they could narrow down to. Instead of having 300 drink combinations, you could go to 50. And that's really what the majority of the sales are. And they go, well, we're not going to do $3.5 or $4 million to support this location just in drinks because we're not just a drink brand, and people are like, okay, it's like a kitschy McDonald's thing. However, if we were able to do $1 million and you added that to McDonald's and you tell a
billion stores.
Yeah, and you tell a franchisee, hey, I know you're doing 3.5, but we can get you to 4 or 4.2 by adding in this machine to do drinks with no labor, no training. Essentially, it's probably a touch screen, that's it.
Yeah.
You're sold, right? Yeah. And then you look at it that way and you see the return on that and you go, okay, they spent a couple $1 million on this place.
That's market research.
But it's going to be billions in revenue.
Right. I find this to be fascinating because, McDonald's can dip their toe into something like that and not think twice about spending several $1 million to build the building and what have you. But the lesson there can be taken down to small businesses that have one location.
Yeah, scale.
It's scaling it. Right. And you can... all too often, entrepreneurs of small businesses don't understand needing to put some money in to develop those kinds of things to see what works.
Yeah.
And they lose opportunities because of it.
And you usually find it in two directions, right? There's the successful business, and that person is thinking, well, things are going well. Why do I need to experiment or keep adding or change anything? It's going perfectly fine. But that's not going to last forever.
Right.
And there's no business that ever does unless they evolve or put money back in. And then on the flip side, you have the people who may be failing or just getting by. And they're like, we don't have the money to put in. Well, you can't afford not to put it in if you really believe in what you're doing, and you have to figure out what it is that's going wrong. Sometimes
so they're just not reallocating funds in the proper direction.
And the hard part is that that's not a blanket statement because sometimes people just have a really bad idea. The market might just be telling you, and no matter how much money you have, it's not going to work. But if you have a baseline business, let's for instance, if you're working one of these places and you have like a wellness spa, and you're like, okay, well, this new fad is the saunas.
I'm a chiropractor, so we do that.
Exactly, right?
I've seen all those fads, all the things.
Yeah, but it's like maybe I don't blow out the wall, take on the whole lease of next door and put in 15 of these. Maybe I make space in here for one and see if clients are really enjoying this, see if they're getting results, and see if there's more demand than I can meet.
Yep.
And if there's, then you start expanding that slowly.
That's kind of how we did. We took over in 2019, had 1.5 doctors, basically, 1,600 square feet. 3 years later, we expanded it to double the square footage. Now we have 5 total chiropractors, 2 massage therapists, and we're kind of doing the same thing. Like now we opened up, we had a couple empty rooms. Now the rooms are full. we're just slowly kind of adding things in, and that are all complementary to what we do.
But if your business plan was forecasting that, but you instead of starting here, you tried to start your business here. Yeah, halfway to it
wouldn't have worked.
It doesn't work, right? Because you have too much overhead.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's the hard part for people is they want to be there faster and they see the finish line when they're just getting out of the gate.
For sure.
And that's the thing where it's like, yeah, maybe one day there is a bigger footprint that works for Billy Bricks, but right now it doesn't. Mm-hmm. You can't make money at that because of the numbers that we can predict. There may be a day where it's like you need twice the square footage because of the demand getting so much higher and higher, and the name recognition when we open up, there's a big hoopla, and you have that. But right now, it's like we have a model that works, and that's the model you work within, and you have to stick to that.
Yeah, yeah. I love these conversations with entrepreneurs. I love them. You're not going to have them on a regular basis, right? I mean, how often are you going to have these kinds of conversations?
Very rare. It's just between my wife and I, we just tend to argue, like, what's our next step going to be? And I'm like,
well, but I mean,
either way, it's not going to be, like, at this point, to me, there's no wrong decision that we can make that's, like, too drastic unless we, like, scrap chiropractic and do something completely different. Like, that would be dumb. But
yeah. But these kinds of lessons, whether it's a pizza place or it's a chiropractic facility or a law office, I mean, some of the lessons go across everything, in terms of evolving and growing, having the humility to know when you are failing, not to keep pushing towards failure.
Yeah, and I mean, the funny part is when you can rattle off the awards, but there are a lot of failures in there that have, it's not like we're advertising them, but
no, of course not.
There have been, getting as good as we are at certain things has only come at the expense of something.
The Edison thing, I didn't fail 1,000 times at making a light bulb. I learned 1,000 ways not to make the light bulb.
100%. And that's, we've opened up places and closed them because we realized about certain types of locations that either don't work or they can only work in a certain way. And at that point, we gotten too far down on them where it was like, man, there's really no digging out of this one. No more throwing good money after bad. But we now know if we want to re-enter that space or re-enter that area or that territory, like we know how to do it now. And, then you do it again. You be better at it the next time, or maybe you're not and you learn again. So that's really
or just avoid it altogether.
Or you avoid it altogether and go, maybe there's a reason why if you're telling me twice, like not to do this, maybe we should stay out.
Start listening. Third time is not going to be a charm.
So I think there's a lot of that where, you're, again, I love having these conversations as well because you stop thinking that you're the only person that's having these issues or having these decisions to make or things to think through, because generally you're only seeing things from like 1,000 miles up, and so you're watching people do stuff and realizing that on a daily basis you're making dozens, if not hundreds of decisions, whether you're conscious of them or not.
Right.
And that's one of the hardest parts is like developing. If you're not naturally that person, when you get to be at the C level, I'm finding that I spend a good amount of my time just trying to develop myself. Because I either need to hire someone that's the person already, or I need to develop into the person that you need
to be.
Yeah, because to me, I'm very analytical, so that means I'm constantly, overanalyzing things, which makes it very difficult to make decisions sometimes. On the flip side, people who are very comfortable making decisions, at the drop usually make bad ones because they move way too quickly without thinking enough. So you have to have that balance where you have not necessarily a partner, but you have that opposite to you, like on your team, that balances you that way, that goes, okay, slow down, or another person that says, okay, well, we need to speed it up here. Eventually we have to make a decision and setting those and sticking to them. Or you have to be able to develop that where you go, this is a process that's repeatable for me on how I make decisions.
So how many years have you been all in now in the pizza business?
So April is always the year, like is the month that I started. So I try to remember that. I think this is going to be like 9 years.
All right. So 9 years in, if you were to go back and give yourself on day one a piece of advice as far as what you need to do, what would it be? Or what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned maybe during that time?
That's a really hard one because I'm very happy with where we're at, and I'm not satisfied in the sense of like there's so much further to go, I feel, and so we're doing that. But I'm, so grateful for where we've gotten that I don't think that any of those decisions, if you change them, maybe we don't end up in the same spot. So I think they've all led to this situation where, if everything always worked, if something finally did fail, it might have failed in a much worse way or a much bigger way because I would have been too arrogant and thought that like every time I make a decision, it always works out.
Yeah, the golden goose.
Exactly, right? Like everything you touch is
golden
nothing,
pizza.
Yeah, nothing ever goes wrong. So having some of those early failures or decisions that I thought made so much sense not work was humbling in the sense of, you think, when you're young, you think you know everything.
What about the day that you made the decision to leave the safety of your salary for doing this? Was that an easy decision for you?
At the time, it was.
Was it?
Proof of concept was there.
Yeah, the proof of concept for the business was there, but I would say that it was easy in the sense that there was no doubt in my mind that was the right thing to do. Now where it's gotten to today and foreseeing like everything that was going to work out, how it would work out and getting to where we are, that was not in my mind. That was all just potential. I was not thinking that far down the road. I had in my gut a feeling that this was something that I had to do. And I think the only challenge for me, because I don't think about money first. I think when you do everything right and you make good decisions, the money stuff, and you plan and you do things, and you don't overextend yourself or your business, those things work out.
It's a side effect.
It's a side effect of it. So I'm not in it just for that. If you're chasing money, you could go do a lot of other things transactionally. Yep. So I wasn't necessarily worried about that in a sense, but I knew it could support me, at least where we were at the time. I was just getting married. We didn't have kids. My first place was a condo in Oak Park, and I think my total overhead of living was like $800 a month.
So times have changed.
Yeah, I know. My mortgage was like $127.
What?
Yeah.
How many square feet?
It was like 800. It was like this. It was a great one-bedroom place.
That's fantastic.
It was amazing. So it was like I didn't have a lot. My risk tolerance there was fairly high because I didn't have a whole lot. I had no money, no kids. I was leasing a car, and we had this small little place, and we were just getting married. So I'm like, going all in at that point was the time to do it. That would probably be the best advice I could give anybody is the sooner you can do it before you have all those things, the better, because it gets exponentially harder. Like if I decided today to make that decision, that conversation, like my wife at the time or soon-to-be wife was like, you got to do it. You got to do it. I think today if I said that's what I was planning on, hey, I'm going to leave my corporate law job and I'm going to go start a restaurant.
You're going to do what?
Yeah.
Yeah, a pizza restaurant in Chicago.
Yeah, we would have had a very, very different conversation.
Yeah.
So that's probably, because everything takes so much time, it's never too late to start, but your risk factors change substantially.
Sure.
So if you can get started and go through the grind of the harder years of building before it affects a lot of other people, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to succeed. Because I think that's the hardest part.
6 years ago, we could have learned this. We took over our office in April. Our first daughter was born in August of 19. And then my second was born 15 months later, then the third. And we moved, he was born in September. We moved to our new office in October.
Yeah.
So we didn't listen to that part.
Yeah.
We decided to just F it and go.
Yeah, but imagine you guys had been on salary somewhere up till now and you wanted to pull the trigger now.
That would be nuts.
It'd be even harder.
Yeah, that would have been even
because
crazy.
you build your lifestyle around that then.
Yeah.
And decisions
100%.
you've made, and then that all changes. And I think, to me, I look at it and I go, man, if I'd make that decision and starting back where I was 9 years ago, I could just think about the amount of stress and arguments that I would create in my house, and I don't know if that's something that most people can make it through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very, very difficult and challenging to do that. So, we're fortunate in the sense that the worries of continuing to make things work are mostly on me to make the business happen. But, I don't feel day-to-day stress when it comes to because we live within our means.
Yeah. That so and 5 pizzas out of 1,400. Oh man, you're not losing sleep over that.
I used to. Yeah. Every review.
Oh yeah.
I would live or die on it.
Are you one of the restaurant guys that'll give a feisty review back? Feisty response, you're always like, oh, we're so sorry.
I guess.
Are you the one that responds?
I do respond to a lot of them.
Nice.
But I probably shouldn't tell anyone this. But our feedback, our feedback and survey software that we have now, which is incredible because it really helps us engage with everyone, especially most frequently when they're mad.
Yep.
That's who you hear from.
No pressure. Yeah. Bad publicity is good.
There's a AI button in there to auto-generate a response, which
really
generally I have to edit slightly because some of it might be like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it puts in all the pleasantries and answers in such a way that you would want it to come out. And sometimes I can even type in my angry message and be like, these are the points that I want to get across, but I need this to sound very professional, very understanding and empathetic.
Make me less of a dick.
Everyone does it. Everyone knows.
Please remove my entire personality from this, but get these points across. And it will come out and I'm like, that's
awesome.
Make this sound like Martha Stewart said.
But you know what the thing is like, just me having the self-awareness, I feel, or the desire to make that message come out in that way is not phony. It is actually how I feel, but I know in that moment of when I'm in my feelings about that review, because what I used to do was I would go, I need to calm down before I respond to this because it pissed me off. Oh, yeah. Even though we're wrong, I'm like angry or I'm just upset. Because it hurts, right?
You got called out.
We got called out. And you see that and I'm like, I'm just going to wait till I calm down and then I'm going to respond. Well, often that would lead to bad reviews because it gives them, while they're in that heated moment, they're like, and now nobody's answering me on this. And now they're still not paying attention. Now you suck even at getting bad feedback. Mm-hmm. So you have to jump in right away. It's the best way to cut off that where they go, I get it. I hear you. You know, we had a customer that was like, we showed up, the food wasn't ready when it was supposed to be. It was an extra 20 minutes. I ended up having to go get something else for my family and just want a refund because I had my kids. My wife's out of town. I had my kids. They're screaming. Nobody's eating. And I responded like, that sounds like an absolute nightmare scenario. I have 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1. I know exactly what you're saying.
I would pull my hair out too.
That is just awful. You know what I mean? And so like, what else do you say other than falling on it? Because like, I get why you're mad. That is just like dog shit on our part. Yeah. And we kind of ruined 2 hours of your night and you had to make alternative plans and you rolled with it. And when you go approach it from that sort of way, I find that most people that are reasonable then
respond favorably.
And they're like, I get it. You know, I know stuff happens and you make it right. And then they'll
see you
come
next
back.
week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you for the gift card, you know, and the like whatever. And like, yeah, man, like totally. I get that. It's just, it sucks.
Yeah.
But that's hard to do when you're not, but I'm finding, and I'll try to tie this into the other part, the dumbbell, the exercise part. The more reps I get at doing this, the better I get at handling it without relying on the AI or anything else where I'm going. Because there's positive reinforcement. Mm-hmm. I'm doing it a certain way over and over and over again, and I'm seeing the positive response. And I'm like, okay, that's the trick to it is like I have to show them my empathy.
For sure.
Because it's there, because I'm feeling that. But if you're in your own thing and you're just defending yourself, it comes off as defensive and like you're 100%. Not getting it. You're not hearing what I'm saying to you. I don't care.
No.
Whatever's going on your side. And that's the thing.
I don't care the oven broke. My kids are screaming. Talk about my kids.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah. And I think that on the dad aspect is the same thing that I feel like I learn from I learn at my house that I apply to my business and to my customers and vice versa. When I go, my kids really don't care what happened at work today with me.
No.
You know, at the end of the day, my wife goes, hey, how was your day? Does she really want to hear me complain? No.
Nope.
So I go, it was fine. Like, because you know what? It was fine. Whatever it is going to be fine.
It'll open up tomorrow.
Either it's fine or it's going to be fine. And you know what? And so I think that was a hard thing to get used to of, you know, knowing that it is going to be fine, that there's things, you're not on this clock, this imaginary clock. It's going to get done, is address it, and you do it as quickly as you can, as best as you can, and you'll live to fight another day. And so not bringing that home is a big thing. And it doesn't always happen, but I do try my very best. I'm not great at everything, but that's one thing I try not to do is to wear my stress on my sleeve in front of everybody else because they can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us a great segue here to shift over to some dad talk. We like to always ask our guests for a dad hack. Do you have a dad hack you can share? Some dad wisdom?
Yeah, so we like to just get away. So that could be a short one. So my wife sometimes she'll see if I'm not able to hide whatever's on my mind, or I'm in the middle of it when everyone gets back home or something, she'll go, well, let's go do something. And she'll just get them in the car. And they'll drive around and, depending on the time of year, look at holiday lights or go find a park or go through a drive-through and just get something, like a small treat.
Get a cake pop.
Anything. Yep. Just to get their minds off it, get them away from it, let you reset and kind of do that. And I'll do the same thing. I'll just get them in the car, like, let's go. We got to get out of the house. We got to go somewhere.
Change scenery.
Yeah, and then you're putting on some music. You're having a conversation.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, we've been listening to that soundtrack. Well, we have been listening to that soundtrack in the car too. And I agree, it's not as terrible as some things I've heard. It's like the music is...
It's not Baby Shark. Thank God.
The songs are not good. Like, they're not my, I guess, style or my first choice of listening language. To. Like, anything.
Yeah.
Like, I would never choose to listen to it. But, like, the fact of the matter is, if you break down the lyrics of those songs and what they're singing about, they're, like, honestly, they're better than Taylor Swift.
All right.
So shots fired. Shots fired.
Because this is a
lot of
dad
Swifties
podcast
out there and be
and not
pissed.
a mom podcast. Because my wife would take great exception to that.
It's the fact. Like
Oh,
I always
agree.
do this test where I tell my wife, I go, okay, hear me out. I am just going to read these lyrics to you, and you tell me if this is from a song worthy of an award.
Yeah.
And we start reading them, and when you read them out loud, you can, and you don't have the melody, and the music, you have everything going
in the environment.
Yeah, you realize the absurdity of what it is that you're listening to, and that you're basically listening to a song that's like at a first grade level.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like, how are you making billions of dollars just doing this?
No. Like if we were having a business podcast talking just about the business side of Taylor Swift, that's incredibly impressive.
Wicked smart.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that, she's Bob Dylan or whatever on the guitar, she's Joan Baez, like right now.
Definitely not Bruce Springsteen.
No. You're not writing lyrics that are going to shape. They are shaping a generation, I guess, but
In a different way.
Sometimes they help you just shake things off, though.
There you go.
There you go. Is your strong suit the dad joke? It's like,
Sometimes.
what is that movie, The Good Guys?
Probably.
With Michael Keaton, when he just keeps quoting TLC songs, everyone's like, is that Waterfall? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He keeps pretending like he doesn't know who they are, and he just keeps quoting TLC songs.
Oh, yeah.
Solid wisdom in there.
That's awesome.
So let's talk about some of your dad's stats here. Father to three kids?
Yeah, 3.
And ages again?
My oldest is going to be 5 this Saturday. My middle is 3, and youngest is going to be 2 in January. But she's
you
still
guys
1.
have some stuff in common there. You guys are
Boys,
both
girls?
Girl, boy, girl.
Nice.
Zone defense. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, so somebody, I saw a post and I laughed and cried at the same time. He's like, 1 kid is 1 kid, 2 kids are 2, and 3 kids are 17 kids.
Yep.
That math checks out for sure.
Well, so here's the thing: is I have a sister who has 7 kids, and she insists that once you pass like 4, it's not a big deal.
I try to
because the
tell
older
my
ones
wife
help
the
out
same
the
thing.
younger ones. And
Are you done at 3?
We're gonna be done. Yeah,
Gonna be done?
yeah. I mean, we're done. We're
Okay.
done now. I mean,
Did you pull the goalie?
no. I mean, she's her birthday is coming up here too. She's gonna be 40. I'm gonna be 40, and it's just kind of the times on the clock has run out.
For sure.
If we were younger, we would definitely have more because you give yourself a little break, and then the older ones definitely help a little more. And we already see that even with our oldest and our youngest. And so I know that is definitely something that happens where it's like they become more self-sufficient, then they also can help. And so you do that, but and we would love to have had more. But I mean, it took us a while. Mm-hmm. And so then, now we just kind of ran out of time. Still got 3.
That's
Got
a good.
3 kids.
That's still a good number. Yeah, my 6-year-old right now. My wife did her continuing ed for a pediatrics diploma over the weekend, so she has like this fake doll, like fake baby doll. My daughter has not dropped it since like Sunday afternoon when she got home. She's like carrying it around and feeding it a bottle. I'm like, all right, I guess you're the mom. So
well, yeah, it's my oldest just did the American Girl doll whole thing, all the stuff that goes with it downtown this weekend for her birthday.
Did you go to the tea party?
I did not go, but I took my son. My son, me and Grandpa. We went and did some guy stuff.
Gotcha.
And the girls went and both grandmas, and they had a blast. And My daughter's not put down her American Girl doll since then because that's her baby now. Of
course.
She's got it in the carrier. She's feeding it.
Yep.
It's putting it to bed at night, dropping it on its head and saying, no, that doesn't hurt her, But she's not let it down. And I'm like, man, this is so interesting to see just
what they're learning.
Like that on their own,
Yeah.
And it's like no one's like explaining how to do it. She's just watched. And now she's doing that and, watched her mom drag the baby. No.
Yeah.
But, like our youngest, though, is, the third one. You're just kind of like.
My third one's nuts. Since he's the boy, he's nuts. It's crazy how much different like the energy from the girls are versus him.
100%.
He's insane.
Yeah. Our middle is the boy.
Yeah.
So he's got middle child stuff going on, and he's the boy. And the two girls go to bed, and they're just like rocks. They just go out. And he is just off the walls,
going nuts.
I mean, he has so much energy.
I guess I'm thankful that my middle is a girl because otherwise Henry, he's just turned 3. My 4-year-old will be 5 in December. He's just as big as her now. Like they could share shoes and clothes. It's insane. But like if he was the middle child with like that personality trait, ooh,
yeah,
we'd be screwed.
Yeah, so
because she's already a handful.
It's fun seeing the differences in them too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Just the natural stuff. Like you're not pushing anything. It's like they just want. The other day, so we were in the living room and I like poked my wife because I'm like, look, he was underneath. He got like a Peloton, like a little Peloton thing that my brother gave us. It's like his kids. He's like, I want it gone. So we took it. It's like a Fisher Price like Peloton.
Yeah,
and he likes it because I ride one. So they're like, we want one too. So they have it over there, and he's got a fake screwdriver and a bunch of tools in his tool set, and he's laying underneath it, like working on it, just tinkering on.
Got to tune up the bike
on his bike, and I'm like, that's not something that I do. Like I don't work with stuff like that.
The pedal's sticky on the right. I gotta listen to it.
But he's doing that, and his mom goes, "What are you doing over there?" He goes, "Working on my bike. I'm almost done. It's almost fixed." I'm thinking,
great.
And then my daughter's in the other room feeding her baby doll, and I'm like, anyone who says this stuff is like, doesn't just come.
Yeah.
Like I'm just watching this. Like no one's enforcing anything.
No, you're not leading in. Like, oh, what do you do here? You should do this.
Having boys and girls, we just have all the toys are everywhere.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They can go pick on their own.
It drives me nuts.
They go choose on their own. My daughter has no interest in dump trucks. And my son, for some reason, like I don't drive a dump truck. I don't play with dump trucks. I don't talk about dump trucks. And he's like, look at this truck.
Yeah.
And he just smashes it into his, his Spider-Man and his Hulk. And he just has them hitting each other and all this stuff. And daughter's like, why are you hitting things? And
the girls will go, Henry, no, don't be destructive. No.
I know.
And he'll just like smash stuff.
They're building stuff. And then my son walks by and he just, Godzilla. He just crushes all of it. And gets
Henry, no.
Every time. And I'm just going, this is incredible. Like just watching them sort of find their own way. And
mine's obsessed with Spider-Man right now. And then he'll go, Dad, look at, like, he can't make the Spider-Man web thing yet with one hand, so he'll take his other hand and take the fingers down, and then he'll start, like, spraying around.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing in the world. And then, like, now he can climb into his crib, but for some reason, thank God, he cannot climb out of his crib.
Oh, yeah?
And for, like, I want to keep that as long as possible because it's simple. We can put him down, focus on the other two to go to bed.
Yeah.
He still takes a nap. The other ones still take a nap every once in a while. I'm like, just please, we need a break.
Well, the greatest dad hack then that just reminded me that we have, but it's a parent hack because we were both totally on the same page with this. We put our doorknobs reversed.
Yep.
And we lock the doors.
Yep.
Oh, from the outside?
We lock it from the outside.
So I've heard that's technically not legal.
I don't want to get letters.
I've heard it's technically not legal.
I don't think the fire department would appreciate that.
But I don't blame you.
Well,
I do not blame you at all.
Gray area. We have the key right above there to unlock it. So it's available on both sides. It's not my fault he can't reach it.
Once he gets taller, he'll be able to reach it. No problem.
Yeah. So you're technically not supposed to. However, we had our doors set like that when they came in for the inspections because we remodeled the whole house.
Oh, did you really?
No one said anything.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
We passed clean bill of health.
Well, then maybe it's not.
Okay.
Cool.
I would imagine it should.
I'm going to flip them back then.
But I flipped them, and I'm telling you, like that was like every person we tell, they're like, how do you keep them in their rooms at night?
Yeah.
They know that we lock it.
Yeah.
And it's almost a thing now where even when they're unlocked in the morning, they'll like knock on their door, be like, Dad, Mom, like I'm up. Like it's unlocked, dude. Like, but they believe that they're all locked because they hear we'll do it.
The boundary is in your head.
We do it loudly, like with the click.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the night, we'll like softly unlock it just in case we don't hear them or something. But we always hear them because they'll just start banging and yelling.
For sure.
And we go, let them to the bathroom, do whatever. But otherwise, they would just be all over the damn house.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to come in the bedroom. They got a million excuses. I mean, they have a million excuses. Huh. And we're like, you guys need a good night's sleep as much as we do.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a big like parent hack is doing that because that gives you.
It took us a long time to learn. Like we did that at first for sure. And then one of our patients was a cop, and he's like, "I don't think that's legal." I was like, oh, "Shit, all right."
You're always locking people up and throwing away the key.
I'm like, "Come on,
let me tell him about me."
Yeah, come on. And he was a detective. Like, this is your job. But then, what was it? A couple of times I got the call, like as I'm leaving the office, and she's like, my wife called me, and she's like, "The door's locked. I don't know how to unlock it." I'm like, "It's not that hard." Like, she she undid the door. Like took the whole handle off, and I'm like, dude,
oh really?
If I tried to unlock it that way, and I could see my daughter in the inside, she was fine, but she's freaking, my wife's freaking out, and I'm like,
that's the other thing. I think it's honestly more dangerous when they're at that age to have it the opposite way because when the one room we do have like that still in the baby's room, which we'll switch when she's out of the crib. Mm-hmm. She could lock the door on herself,
of course,
and then we're the ones having.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons why we did switch.
I was like, I'm not playing this game.
We did that too, but then I got home like, if I can unlock this in 1 second, I'm gonna be pissed. And literally just took my finger like a pencil, put it in there, moved the latch to the side, and opened it.
Yeah, we have those. We have the keys, and we put them above the trim.
Yeah.
So for some reason, she wasn't able to do that part. She got the screwdriver.
She panicked.
Took the dang thing off, but the bolt was still in there. And then I literally just took a pencil in there and moved it. And I'm like,
she cracked the door with an axe.
Yeah, I was like,
you just chopped it down.
You could totally just kick this door in.
There's one way to do this. Just kick the whole door down off the frame. But no, I mean, the one time my daughter has it figured out now, and she got funny one day, and she opens her door, leans out, locks it from the hallway, and then closes it on her and then closed me in there. And she thought it was hilarious, and I was like, this is why you can't have the lock on your side. No. Because you'd be running in here with whatever it is that you had.
Oh, yeah.
Candy and whatever the hell else. And you'd be locking yourself in here and we'd be beating down this door constantly. Yeah. And we're not playing that game.
I think to avoid that, I got rid of all the locked doors. None of them lock anymore.
Bathroom, or just have closet knobs on them?
Eventually, when they're older, I'm just going to take the doors off. But no, there's definitely no. I don't think the upstairs.
Sure, you guys can hang out. You can hang out in your room. You just don't have a door. But
we lock our door, but you can't lock yours. Yeah. I think right now I actually switched. I got all new door handles for the kids' rooms. None of them lock anymore because they kept locking in or out, or I'd be gone. My wife freaked out. Yeah, none of the doors lock anymore, even the bathrooms downstairs. So don't go to the bathroom in our house. But,
got it. Mental check. Yeah. All right. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about what you do to stay healthy. What's your go-to?
Last week you kicked ass. That's 300 squats?
Yeah,
that sucked.
I was having trouble getting out of my car.
The worst thing
you
about
did
doing
lead the
those,
workout. That was your choice.
The absolute worst part about doing that stuff, though, is not getting out of the car. It's going to sit on the toilet, and when it hurts to sit on the toilet, that's the worst.
Your legs going numb.
We have. So one of the things that we did when we remodeled our house, we have our toilets are a little high. Well, elevators. We have higher toilets than the standard because I'm tall.
I got the ADA compliant ones.
Exactly, and so. A little less stressful.
So it's really just a bulk price for the restaurant.
Correct. Yeah. And so that doesn't hurt as much. But getting in and out of the car and sitting on the toilet after those. So one of the main things that I've done because I don't really have time for much else is F3. So Bitch and I do that together. It's barrel roll on Showbiz. So
Show's in it too.
Yeah.
I got him out for one ruck.
Oh,
two. I've been 2, 3?
2 with you, and I was there for a third.
There you
were you were not there.
A 3-pack.
There you go.
3.
So that
was your MapQuest.
A MapQuest. No, I couldn't be Google Maps.
That's the big part of I would say of my fitness regimen. Is
what got you into it?
F3. Just had buddies in the neighborhood. The neighborhood that I was in Buttonwood, and so it was like Gloop.
Mm-hmm.
Slumlord, Wide Right, and Dabo.
Okay.
All those guys were my neighborhood buddies because we had just moved in there. And then during COVID, as COVID slowed down a little bit, we were getting out in our neighborhood. We were out, but no, a lot of people weren't. And so as we met more people, I started noticing these like guys that were like in better shape than most of the guys our age, and they were telling me what they were doing. And I also saw like how much more energy they had, you know, with their kids and with other stuff, just because they were in better shape. And I was like, man, I got to find something. The hardest part for me was always like it's always the excuse that everybody has, which it's too early. And knowing me, like I'm like the worst morning person ever. So like nobody gets to make that excuse with me, because I don't think there's ever been a worse person in the morning than me. Like I'm usually terrible till like 9 or 10 a.m. Like that's when I go in like my deep work and emails and stuff, because I don't really like to communicate with people until much later in the day.
It's not effective.
One of the really common elements that we've found in doing these interviews with people that are higher functioning, successful.
Functioning.
This is one of the elements. I mean, it's people getting up early to get things moving. You know, it's
physically, mentally,
across the board.
all of it.
Yeah. And so that, I mean, now like you wouldn't know like from coffee, like because by then, like it's accelerated my waking up and like my brain and everything going totally on those days. So, you know, I've gotten used to it now. About halfway through the workout, I'm really alive, and then I'm just thinking about coffee the whole time. when we go to coffee, then
Can't wait for Panera or Starbucks.
Yeah, you know, as soon as we get to coffee, it's like I don't want to say it's the best part of the day, because there's so many good parts of every day. Yeah. You know, seeing your kids.
It's definitely a better start than Folgers in your cup, though.
It's the best possible way you could ever start a day. That's how I say, because I don't want to say it's the best part of the day. Some days it could be technically, but like you know, life is good.
Yeah.
So the days I don't get up early and work out, it's weird. Like I'll wake up at like 6:30 anyways, and I'm like, should I get up? Do I want to?
I'm only slightly frustrated with my own like body, or like wherever I'm at right now, like with knowing that in previous years I pushed myself really hard to get up every day and do it because I enjoyed it so much and how good it was for me. But I found myself really needing a little extra sleep, where I'm like, this is not me not wanting to do this. Like, it's the reverse now. I have the desire to do it, and I'm physically feeling like if I keep pushing myself, I'm going to wear down.
For sure. Recovery time.
Yeah. So like there was a negative correlation, because I was getting sick very frequently then, and getting colds because I was worn down. And I'm like, because the rest of my day is so busy, and then at night, and then with the kids, and then with work. And so it's like, you know, you can only do so much. And I think that's the only balance that I'm trying to find now, is like, how many days a week can I do this? How many times?
What's your active day? What's your recovery day?
Yeah, exactly. And try to get more on a routine like that and stick to it, just because, like doing 5 days a week, which I loved, and I was in much better shape than I am like right now.
It does wear you out. I think that's like one of the bad things people jump into quick, of anything really.
And it burns
just hit the
them
ground
out.
running. They physically cannot keep up, because it's kind of the knock with CrossFit and certain like endurance training too. If you're going at 100% intensity every single day for extended periods of time, your gas tank is never filling up at all. And
so that's, that to me was the biggest challenge was F3. Was getting up, and then now it was balancing that with everything else, knowing how early it is. And if you do that and you have a full day and evening, how many nights or how many days in a row you can do that, or how you need to break things up, because I want to be there every single day, but I've tried to just learn my lesson and not push through it, because it just would then take me down for a month.
Yeah, for sure. I need to spend more time out.
I spend more time out than I did.
Just taking a day off.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's the biggest part of it when you're juggling all of these other things, is doing enough to get you where you want to be and to maintain and have a healthy lifestyle, but not pushing yourself to the point, like to the brink, because if you do that, you're just burnt out of anything.
So obviously when you go and work out, that's for you. Do you have any kind of mental wellness kind of thing that you do for yourself? Is there anything that you enjoy? Just for you?
I'm highly unstable. No.
Nuclearly volatile.
It could be a meditation thing. Maybe you're into arts.
I'm on the edge. No,
drinking heavily.
No, I
pizza and beer. Good combo.
I love pizza. That's for sure. I'm not a big drinker. I don't recreationally do a lot of things and I don't need them, so I don't desire them and for them. One thing that I do really enjoy, which I've had less and less time for in the like in the winter, I have more. When the work season turns more into office and less with the offsite, because like our company basically gets cut in half for 4 months out of the year because all the mobile stuff slows down or shuts down.
Okay.
So I feel like then like I really don't have a lot going on. That's when we start getting new places open, and I'm like, oh, we should open another one.
It's more like you're planning. The wheels are spinning.
Correct. So during that time of the year, I read a lot more. That's probably the number one thing that I wish I had more time for.
Yeah.
You know, I find myself watching some shows and stuff now, which I love pop culture and I love movies and I love TV. Like I'm super into it. I always have been. But I can only do that because my brain is so tired to like reading. I'm not.
You can read the same page 10 times.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
so I'm like, this is not really worth it because I'm not getting anything out of it. So I do love coffee. I love a good book. I only read nonfictions. So I don't live in fantasy worlds like that. But I love to read. I play guitar. I haven't been playing much because my hands have been so bad with like my just cracking from working out outside and then with, you know, being in the kitchen, washing my hands so frequently and stuff. So I don't play as much as I used to.
Don't have like the working man hands balm thing.
Yeah, I try everything. Actually, so I'm going into, you know, it's like dad stuff, right? Can't believe we have to talk about doctor's appointments and stuff. But I gotta go to a dermatologist because I'm like, I gotta figure out what's causing this. I have like proper nutrients, all my blood work's coming back right, but like this has to be something that a skin doctor has seen before. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be something that
just your fingers. Do you have it on your feet too?
No, just my hands. And so it's not gonna. They're not gonna be like, whoa, this is never.
You might need to just go to med spa. You know,
never
like,
seen.
How do I moisturize these hands?
Yeah, and maybe that's what they tell me and go, listen, like if you're just doing this, that's not enough. You got to do this or you got to do that. I just need to get an answer for what I need to do because it is preventing me from doing like my second favorite thing to relax, which is play guitar.
Yeah. I will tell you, 10 years ago or so, my heels were cracking to the point where they started to bleed. And
my hands get like
I went to a couple of podiatrists, didn't give me any solutions whatsoever.
Yeah, no, they're not going to fix
I wound up realizing I was not drinking enough water. Swear to God, once my water intake went up, it changed.
That's why you say you would drink 2 or
maybe
3
not
a day.
Probably 3, 3 or more.
It could be it, but like
so
they just like crack.
No, it looks terrible. Terrible and uncomfortable. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
And then you try to do that and you're running up a string.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Just tearing your hands open.
Are you doing anything like collagen supplements? Anything like that?
No.
Yeah. Well, see a doctor.
So there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
See if there's an underlying pathology. Probably not.
Who knows?
A lot of options. I bet if the dermatologist doesn't give you anything, ask your wife who her nail person is, or like a dermatologist. Like
I'm gonna ask for that for my
med spa.
Yeah. They might have a solution
like, hey, for
you.
Christmas, what I'd really like is a home medical spa for my hands.
Yeah.
So like
paraffin treatments, right? Isn't that the thing where you put your hands
wax,
in? Yeah.
Wax
she gets it. She has like I'm not gonna say it. Dryness of skin is a factor for both of us, so I'll just leave it at that.
Group,
so whatever we get for hands or feet to do it, like I know she'd be all in on it too. So maybe that's a decent idea for us.
Even like, hey, if my wife asked me to go to a pedicure with her, I'm going to go. I'll take a foot massage any day.
They're nice.
Oh yeah, I would go. I mean, it definitely makes your feet feel better.
Let's go
for sure.
My issue is when I hit that rough stone and like shave off the calluses.
Yeah,
I try not to like, kick him in the face because like it tickles.
Tickling and laughing.
Sorry.
Kicking.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears a little bit and play a little game we like to call Deal or Dumbbell. Deal or Dumbbell.
All right.
So we're going to read off a statement. You're going to answer with deal or dumbbell. If you like it, if you think it's a good idea, it's a deal. If you think it's a dumb idea, it's a dumbbell.
All right. Technically, AI didn't come up with.
Well, I'm going to let you do these.
Half of these.
Yeah, go for it.
I came up with a couple of these because there were a couple of questions. My wife and I always had this argument: pineapple on pizza, deal or dumbbell?
Dumbbell.
She would disagree. That's fine. She doesn't own the restaurant. Owning a restaurant is passive income.
Dumbbell.
Yep. Teaching your toddler negotiation skills early.
Deal.
Good deal. Every entrepreneur needs to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to succeed.
Dumbbell.
Pizza for breakfast as long as it's cold.
Deal. Every time.
I agree. With coffee?
Ooh.
Pizza and coffee?
Dealer's choice. I have it. That's what I eat.
Do you guys have like a Casey's breakfast pizza?
No. I feel
That's not
okay.
cold.
So two things.
That's good.
That's hot
One,
pizza.
I could totally understand where someone's coming from that would say that that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I personally like it because those are my two favorite things.
You dip the pizza in the coffee.
Cold pizza and coffee.
No.
That's
cold
crossing the
pizza,
line.
cold pizza and hot coffee is like those are two of my favorite things ever. So
Nice.
putting them together is just brilliant. It's like what a way to start a day.
Is there a good cold pizza to have for breakfast? Besides
Not
Casey's?
ours.
Not
So
yours.
like I don't particularly like mine cold. Like I like mine hot. I mean I'll eat it.
Yeah.
But I like the traditional, more like Chicago tavern style.
Yeah.
You know,
the thin
Yeah.
crust.
the thin crust
Yeah, yeah,
tavern
yeah.
style. Maybe it's because I grew up on that. I feel like I'm like 8 years old stealing it off. We used to put it in tinfoil and leave it on top of the stove.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what kind of? No wonder we never get sick.
Yeah.
It was like we just left this out and didn't even
There's
refrigerate
so much
it.
bacteria in you. You're fine.
I didn't.
You're
I
fine.
didn't find out till I was an adult.
That was
Like
bad.
from some, like, thing is, my wife mentioned to me, she's like, you know, you have to put that in the refrigerator, and I was like, yeah, of course. But I'm like,
What a joker.
I mean, if we, you know, it was so rare that we had any left.
Yeah.
But if it did, like, yeah, it would be on the stove till the next morning, and then I would eat it off there.
Yeah.
I would do that. I did that in college all the time.
Yeah. So I mean,
No problems.
So I have excellent gut health.
Turned out great.
All right.
Yeah, my fingers are falling off.
So yeah, my fingers. Yeah, I'm nutrient deprived. It's definitely a virus that's lived in me for a long time.
So yeah, this one came from our office. They messed up. I think they messed up, but sauceless pizza is acceptable.
Dumbbell.
I agree. I don't know why they ordered it.
This is like garlic
That's
bread.
bread.
I was like bread and cheese. Like what's the
Someone
fuck
ordered
did you-
that?
Yeah, I was like
I've seen cheeseless pizza. I've not seen sauceless pizza.
I was not pleased at all. Like who ordered this? It was like light sauce. I'm like, there's nothing on here.
If you have no sauce,
There's no pizza.
is it even pizza?
No.
It's not. Because
It's not even garlic
pizza
bread because you need like a
is-
garlic sauce on there.
But I have to be honest with you. I think if you're going to have pizza, you're going to have cheese. You're going to have sauce. Those two things I think you have to have, and something for the bread. I mean, I've seen the sausage, the crustless pizza. I've
Not
seen
pizza.
that.
Oh, that
Not
Lumonized one is pretty decent.
I mean,
It could be decent,
I get
but
that.
that's not
gluten-free.
pizza.
It's not pizza though.
That's not pizza.
I mean, it's a
Sausage
pizza
with cheese on top.
alternative.
That's lasagna.
Okay.
Yeah, minus the noodle.
Minus
So
the
one of my other questions then, I like beer. So like in Germany, like by law, and like even like bourbon, like by law, there's a certain like recipe that it has to be. Is there in like I don't know Italy or whatever or Chicago maybe? Is there a like a agreed upon standard? Like you need this many ingredients, like these 3-4 ingredients to be called pizza.
So there are no pizza governing bodies in the world except in Naples, Italy.
Okay.
So the Neapolitan, which is the 12-inch style, traditional that we make, there is a governing body called the VPN. If you get the VPN certification, the Vera Pizza Napolitan, so it's like the true Neapolitan pizza. If you're going to get that certification, there is a standard that you have to meet.
Okay.
And there's a lot of different things that go into it between the tomatoes and the flour and the temperature you cook at and the dough and the type of oven.
Literally everything.
Literally everything from the beginning of the mixer that you use all the way to the oven you use to bake it. We don't go for that certification. So there was a period of time where people were actively seeking those out because it was a sort of a badge of honor. And I think what they realized,
People as in like the makers of the pizza?
Yeah,
or
in the United States.
The consumers of the pizza?
in the United States.
Okay.
And I think what most realized fairly quickly was that when you made it very true, there was a lot of things you were overspending on for no particular reason.
Yeah.
Like the
For a
mixer.
brand, yeah.
Like the mixer is
For a name.
$10,000 more just because it's a VPN certified mixer. You're like, okay, that's not necessary. There was a lot of those things.
Yep.
And then on the customer side of it, I think what people discovered, including us, when we had an experiment of trying to go very, very true to the Neapolitan standard for a while,
No one knew.
is that no one knows, no one cares, and most Americans do not prefer that pizza.
Interesting.
Oh, they don't even like it.
Yeah, they don't even like it.
Interesting.
What is
So-
the number one pizza in the U.S.?
The number
The
one
style.
The number one style.
Obviously, like pepperoni, but
Oh well, yeah. The number one topping in the United States is pepperoni.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's that. As far as like dough styles,
so like the debate: New York, Brooklyn, or New York, Detroit, Chicago.
well, I mean, they all have their own merits.
Yeah,
But the most widely known now, like I mean, Connecticut just got named the pizza. New Haven just got named the pizza capital of the United States.
What?
And they're fighting with New York now. What? So they're up there. They're
Is it a bunch of New Yorkers that moved there?
No, they're like no. There's a New Haven style pizza. So that's the style that Dave Portnoy loves. And so I think
is he from Connecticut?
No. He's from Massachusetts, where their pizza is more like they call like bar style.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not called Massachusetts style yet or Boston pizza, but there's like a bar style.
It's up and coming,
which is more closely related to like the New Haven style. But
right.
The history of it is pretty exciting. I mean, I went to college in Connecticut, so I also learned a lot about it, and I was being spoiled with great pizza in college.
Got it.
Our late night pizza was New Haven style pizza. So, but then it was just called pizza because we were in Connecticut.
Yeah.
So no one was calling it that. Lombardi's is the original, United States pizzeria in New York. And you couldn't get wood because you're in the middle of Manhattan. So there's no real forests. So they would use coal, which is they had readily available. That's what you used to heat all of the buildings at that time. So they used coal in these old bread ovens to heat those ovens, and that's how they were making the original pizzas. So the original New York style pizza is all made in coal-fired ovens. Eventually, when you start having the gas ovens, that's what most people know of now. But Lombardi's was a coal-fired place, and that's how it started. The reason I say you couldn't get wood, because that's how everyone was cooking pizzas, was with wood in Naples, where pizza came from in Italy. The Lombardi family, they were Napolitan, so they were making a Neapolitan-style pizza, but they were making it in a very different type of oven. So it came out, and you couldn't get all the ingredients like you could in Italy. The flour was different, the things were different. So they used what they had available to them, and thus a new style of pizza was made, but from people who had learned the Neapolitan tradition. One of the original pizza chefs there was Frank Pepe, who moved to New Haven because you could go right down the train and go to New Haven from New York. You pass my college and keep going, and you get there down. It was very short, probably about an hour. And so when he moved to Connecticut and opened up his own place after learning from Lombardi's, he made the same style of pizza, and Frank Pepe's Pizzeria Napolitan. That's the name of the restaurant.
In Connecticut?
Then we had a coal-fired wood oven, or a bread-burning oven, and made the style of pizza that he knew how to make from Naples and learned how to make at Lombardi's, and then took his own spin on it, and that's where the New Haven-style pizza was born. It wasn't called that until probably the last 10 years. It was just the pizza there, Connecticut, but Frank Pepe popularized that particular style, and it's a hybrid kind of between New York and Neapolitan style pizza, but it's cooked at a lower temperature and cooked a little bit longer and made very, very crispy. And so that to me is truly its own style of pizza, and it is one of the more popular ones. But there is a joke about it where you say, "Is it burnt or is it New Haven?" And so there's definitely people who taste it and they're like, I don't know what all the hype is about this. There's soot all over this, and there's this and that. So, you have to really like a crispy pie.
Yeah.
But it is awesome, and there's a lot of like lore and history behind it. So a relative of the Little Caesars family broke off, and he made his own concept in the 70s called Noble Romans, which you might have seen when you're traveling. Noble Romans is also technically a Detroit-style pizza, the pan pizza, and those have been around for 70 years. So that's not something that's new, and it's not just like an independent shop thing. There's a lot of franchises and other larger ones out there. And now here, popularly in the Midwest, the Jets is also making that style of pizza very, very well, I would say. They're probably one of the better chain pizzerias. They use really high-quality ingredients.
Yeah. That one is good. Actually, yeah, I've had that one. That is one I've had.
Their ranch is terrific. They sell the ranch by the bottle. It's really good. Yeah, we'll buy just the Jets ranch. I mean, it's just really a buttermilk ranch with a lot of like probably Hidden Valley seasoning in it, but it's killer.
Just double those.
It's killer, and it's cool to be like, I got the Jets in a bottle at home. I'm just gonna have the ranch.
Nice.
You
got anything for Quill's Corner this week?
We kind of hit on it in the fitness portion. Don't go 0 to 100 on the crazy workouts.
Have some recovery time built in.
That's why I like the complex does like ruck on a Monday, workout Tuesday, Wednesday, ruck Thursday, workout Friday.
Yeah.
Super perfect split.
We always joke about the complex, though.
That's fine.
Do you work out or do you go to the complex?
Yeah, right.
No, but I mean, it's there's a little too much rucking probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why now. So my wife's doing FIA, which is great.
Okay.
And she's like, I can go Tuesday, Thursday. So I'm doing Monday at Dark Tower or the Lion, and then I'll go Wednesday Dark Tower. So tomorrow I'll be there. I'll ruck.
Yep.
And then Friday I'll either do lift club or I'll do a boot camp depending on who's queuing.
Yep.
So it's a nice breakup to the week, but I'm finding like I need to get a little more cardio in, but that routine's working well. So it's getting a little colder. I'll mix in the Peloton at home on my own on those like quote unquote off days.
Yeah.
And it'll be a nice, cause I do that in the middle of the afternoon. You
For
can
sure.
do a 20, a 30 or 45-minute
While the
ride.
kids are in that.
You do whatever, you do whatever fits in. And I think that will be the balance. Hopefully that will work out. But yeah, that's the nice thing to do. You mix it up a little ruck, a little lifting, a little boot camp.
Yep. So I started going to Lifetime too, just to get actual like weights.
So Rick, as we move towards wrapping things up here, there's been an awful lot of pizza talk. Somebody may want to find you as a result of all this pizza talk and check it out. How do people get in contact with you? Where do they find you? What do they do? It
is not hard to find me at all. So if you type in my name, Ric Gruber, even if you spell it wrong, you'll find me.
Pop it up.
Everything's going to pop up. But all of our channels are located at billybrickshq.com. So it's billybrickshq.com. And then all of our handles on every social is billybrickshq. So you can find us there and you can get access and probably track me down through there if you wanted to. Just click the locations tab. You can see where you have one closest to you or the nearest Mujos. We have Lombard, the Border of Downers, Wheaton, Naperville, Oak Park, LaGrange, Highwood, and soon to be we'll be opening up Mujos in Evanston.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
you can find us pretty much near anywhere probably who's listening to here.
Yeah.
And if not, we have a number of food trucks and we can come to you.
That's awesome.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about some takeaways here. I jotted down a few notes as we were going through things. A couple tips that you had. Balancing speed of thought in decision making. Not always to rush to it, but there's a balance there.
Yeah. Eventually you have to make a decision. So I found the best thing for me with everything is process. So if you work, creativity and innovation should be a process that you can make repeatable and not just like when a random idea strikes. Mm-hmm. And the same thing is with decision making. If you say this is the process I go through in order to make decisions, then you make it something that's not as it's repeatable. I should say
definitely less stressful too.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It takes the stress. Let's take the stress out of it, and you go, "This is how I make decisions." So this is the decision that I'm making, and then that's that, and then you deal with the outcome. But otherwise, you could sit there with decision paralysis forever. And
try to teach that to my docs. I'm like, dude, stop overthinking it.
Yeah,
like, here's your framework. Work within that.
And
try and reinvent the wheel every single person you see.
Yeah.
I knew a coach that I had at one point told me that when I was pitching, he said I looked like I had over-analysis causing paralysis. Mm-hmm. And that stuck with me. That was a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
I like rhymes. I like simple things.
That is easy.
Yeah.
For sure.
As an entrepreneur, be ready to try new things. And sometimes that includes a career shift.
Yeah, that's... I hate giving people that advice because you don't want them to take it and have it work out disastrously for them. Mm-hmm. But it worked for me.
Could work for you.
It could work for you. And it is like if what you're doing is making you miserable, you should try something different.
Yeah.
If what you're doing is
not
helping you meet your goals, then you need to try something different.
Definitely.
And I think in that sense, that should not be a hard decision. I think where people get caught up is they feel like they're pot committed. If you're a poker player, like I've got too much in this hand, I can't fold it. Sometimes you need to fold it
because otherwise the pot keeps growing, and you're like, well, now I'm really screwed.
Well, and for me, all that of going to law school, there was some of it in the back of my head of like, well, what are people going to think?
Yeah,
I did all this, and what a fool! I'm a lawyer, and now I'm going to go off and
I'm spinning
pizzas.
Yeah,
and the second that type of thinking stopped ever going through my mind was the second I started making really great decisions that made me a lot happier.
That's awesome.
And that's the other thing is like I learned that at some point, I don't even know when, but it wasn't always, but at some point it clicked to me that people don't care about me and what I'm doing nearly as much as I thought they did.
No.
When you take yourself out of the center of the universe where it's like, they really don't care what I'm doing. And if they do, then they're not my people.
No.
Like in that way. So you just go like, Yeah, whatever they think about me is really not my business.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do what I need to do for me.
All right. Anything else, Mitch?
You got them all. That was
right.
perfect.
Well, that is a wrap on this episode of Dads, Deals, and Dumbbells. If Rick made you laugh, think, or want pizza for breakfast,
yeah, hit up follow on the buttons below on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Leave a review. Share it with a fellow dad balancing breakfast duty, board meetings, and some pizza with coffee.
You got a question or wild parenting story, please DM us. Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, or email us at www. No, that's not right. That's not how.
You need some pizza and coffee?
I have not had enough sleep. Email us at dadsdealsanddumbbells@gmail.com.
Lift something heavy, take a nap if you need, tuck those kids in, close the deal, and have some pizza.
I need that nap.
Oh, yeah.
See you next time.